Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, I'm going to do this story, but you've got to promise me you won't laugh, no matter how funny you think it is. Now, we know the SNP are in trouble financially. We know that they've got no money. Not enough people are dying and leaving the money in their wills, and no matter how hard they shake those collection tins, nobody is putting 10 pence in there. They are bereft of cash. They are desperate for money. And so, of course, we laugh, if we can avoid it, when they are presented with a hefty tax bill because they alienated their own councillors so much that the councillors left the party and have gone their own way. And the FS and the SNP have been left with this tax bill because of it. It's delicious. Let's look at this. And I told you, I'm not laughing. I promise I'm not laughing. But here goes. So SNP could be facing a hefty tax bill as the ex-councillors demand a refund of their salaries. The SNP could be facing a hefty tax bill after taking cash from their councillors' salaries. 8 of the former councillors have demanded a refund after having a portion of their wages deducted by the party to go towards local campaigning. This is normal in council. You'll get a stipend or something, but then your party, if you're not an independent, your party, they take a percentage, usually 10 or 15% of it that goes back into the party funds to help pay for the party. It's all agreed. They all do it. It's not anything unusual. However, these guys are no longer part of the SNP. So 8 of the former councillors have demanded a refund after having a portion of their wages deducted by the party to go towards local campaigning, as I said. Now, the group later formed a new party, Progressive Change North Lanarkshire, and argued that the $1,600 they paid towards the SNP's campaigning fund should be given back, as they are no longer members. And the council's tax advisors have now looked at the deductions and found the whole scheme wasn't compliant with tax rules. So it isn't just this payment, it's the whole thing. Now the local authority is trying to work out who has to repay the taxman, the SNP, the councillors, or the council. And if it's the SNP, it's a big amount. Meanwhile, the 8 councillors said they have been ignored by the SNP's group leader, Tracy Carragher, over requests they get their deducted wages back. Tracy Carragher is an awful person. She's the one who lied and covered up the abuse by Jordan Linden. So she is not, she hasn't got clean hands in anything. She's as guilty as anyone else. She knowingly covered up these things. Anyway, Progressive Change NL Secretary Councillor Jerry Brennan said, "We simply asked for the levy deductions to be returned to us as we can no longer seek re-election as SNP councillors in 2027. Councillor Carragher has refused this refund request even after being made aware of the potential tax and penalty implications of holding personal monies for a benefit the SNP group can no longer deliver. We've also approached the North Lanarkshire Council Finance Department, who has intimated they too are now in discussions with their own tax advisors over the way the scheme is administered. All of this financial disorder is not a great public image for the SNP to be portraying locally, especially given the ongoing financial issues and investigations the SNP as a whole are currently facing." He has got that damn right. Firstly, if they're deducting that money from them, that's wrong because it's not the SNP's money anymore. They're a new party. That's number one. Secondly, if the scheme is not tax compliant and never has been, the taxman can go back 20 years, work out what the tax should be and tax them. And if it's the SNP holding the money, he's taxing the SNP and going back 20 years. And if that's only North Lanarkshire, what about South Lanarkshire? What about every county council up and down the whole of Scotland? If the taxman decides that it needs to be thoroughly investigated, this could amount to many millions of pounds that the SNP themselves have to find and have to pay. It is cracking, isn't it? This could actually be the end of the SNP. This could be the tax bill that breaks them entirely. Anyway, a spokeswoman for North Lanarkshire Council said the council has received advice from its tax advisors, which confirms that the tax treatment of salary deductions for some councillors was incorrect. This was a historical error on the council's part, and we continue to liaise with the tax advisors to ensure compliance with reporting requirements to HMRC. That's going forward. You've got to look at everything that's went in the past. The council will make contact directly with the councillors affected once the reporting requirements to HMRC have been met, and a decision has been made about resolving any outstanding tax liability. Well, it's going to be either the council or the SNP. It won't be if they've had the money deducted, it isn't their tax. This is going to be a big one. If this goes the wrong way for the SNP, they're finished. They're absolutely finished. Anyway, a spokeswoman for Carragher said any questions or payroll deductions by North Lanarkshire Council will be dealt with the Finance Department and not the SNP group. Yeah. She's trying to wash her hands of it. She's trying to wash her filthy hands off any kind of tax liability. She doesn't want to touch that with a barge pole. Who can blame her? But this could be serious. This could be massive. It could run to millions, and the SNP just doesn't have it. And well, there is a thing about the tax man. That is, if you owe him tax and you don't pay it, you can go to prison, and they don't care. Ken Dodd went to prison. You know, who's the jockey? Not Willie Carson. Lester Piggott. Lester Piggott went to prison. They'll put anyone in. Wesley Snipes went to prison, for heaven's sake. But the taxman will put anyone in prison over bad tax. So they have got a major headache if they've got that wrong. Seriously, up and down the whole of Scotland they'll be furiously checking their books. It will be delicious to watch. Anyway, I shall finish there and come up. I think Humza will discover that Customs and Excise, the taxman, is not as easy to buy as certain top policemen. There's no little gentleman's agreements, little handshakes, little envelopes with cash popped away. You've got to face this one. And the taxman, they're heartless. They are absolutely heartless. As I say, I worked as an accountant for 35 years. And I always made sure, number one, the one thing you always get right and always do on time is the tax. Last thing you want is a tax inspection. And he's about to find out the hard way. If this goes against them. If it's the council's fault, it'll be down to the council. But if it's the SNP's fault, it'll go to the SNP. But I mean, when I say it's the council's fault, it's not that the SNP members of the actual councillors' fault in the council. This will be a procedural error within the council. It's whoever's the council finance officer, for example, will be the one who has to take the hit on this one. But if you're not doing it correctly, and you've actually got tax advisors and you didn't question them about this, then yeah, you could end up being in very, very serious trouble. And it's a story I think we'll set to run, and I will certainly be keeping an eye on it, just in case it goes what I would consider the right way, and that is that the SNP get a massive tax bill. Anyway, I shall finish there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see in here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and always pay your taxes. Goodbye.